A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a bold move on Saturday, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer called upon Russian President Vladimir Putin to commit to a ceasefire in the ongoing war against Ukraine, asserting that the Kremlin's hesitation contradicts its professed desire for peace. During a two-hour virtual summit involving around 30 world leaders, including prominent figures such as French President Emmanuel Macron and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, Starmer emphasized that the responsibility now lies with Russia to demonstrate genuine intentions for peace. He criticized the Kremlin for its dithering and delay regarding U.S. President Donald Trump's ceasefire proposal, asserting that Russia's continued aggression undermines any claims to a peaceful resolution. Starmer stated, "We agreed that now the ball was in Russia's court, and President Putin must prove he is serious about peace and sign up to a ceasefire on equal terms." This summit marks the second gathering of what Starmer refers to as the Coalition of the Willing, aimed at providing support to Ukraine in light of shifting dynamics in U.S. foreign policy following Trump's return to the White House. The meeting saw a broader coalition than the previous one held on March 2nd, reflecting a strengthened collective resolve among allies to enhance security arrangements for Ukraine. Starmer reiterated the commitment to Ukraine's long-term security, asserting that the nation must be equipped to defend itself against further Russian aggression. He announced plans for military planners to reconvene in the UK to develop practical strategies for supporting Ukraine's future security, including the potential deployment of troops to safeguard peace after a ceasefire. The UK and France are actively working to galvanize support from Ukraine's allies for a European military force capable of deterring future Russian attacks. Starmer stated, "We will build up Ukraine's own defenses and armed forces and be ready to deploy as a coalition of the willing in the event of a peace deal to help secure Ukraine on the land, at sea, and in the sky." The backdrop to this summit is a U.S. proposal for a 30-day ceasefire, which Zelensky has endorsed. While Putin has shown a willingness to consider a truce, he has also outlined various conditions that need clarification before agreeing to a ceasefire. Starmer highlighted Zelensky's support for an unconditional ceasefire, positioning Ukraine as the party of peace, while Macron underscored the courage demonstrated by Ukraine in this regard. Macron remarked that Russia does not seem to be sincerely seeking peace and stressed the need for a coordinated international effort to apply pressure on Moscow to secure a ceasefire. Zelensky emerged from the meeting advocating for stronger sanctions to compel Russia into accepting an unconditional ceasefire, which he believes could facilitate genuine negotiations for peace. He asserted, "Moscow understands one language," emphasizing that a ceasefire, without killings, would create an opportunity for meaningful discussions. Zelensky also made it clear that decisions regarding foreign contingents in Ukraine should not be dictated by Putin, reinforcing the need for a European presence on the ground with American support. However, a potential hurdle for the coalition lies in Trump's lack of enthusiasm for any security arrangements involving U.S. military support. The United States has altered its stance on the conflict since Trump's return, leading to a more complex diplomatic landscape. Starmer and Macron have taken the lead in forming the Coalition of the Willing to ensure that Trump maintains support for Kyiv. The summit's outcomes have already prompted European nations to reconsider their own security strategies, including increasing defense spending. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz welcomed Zelensky's readiness for an unconditional ceasefire, emphasizing the importance of U.S. leadership in this matter. Trump expressed optimism regarding Putin's potential support for a ceasefire, citing good vibes from Russia following a recent meeting with a U.S. envoy. As Ukraine faces intense military pressure 3 years into the conflict, analysts suggest that Putin may be hesitant to agree to a ceasefire while he perceives a tactical advantage on the battlefield. Starmer remarked, "Sooner or later, Putin will have to come to the table. So this is the moment. Let the guns fall silent. Let the barbaric attacks on Ukraine, once and for all, stop and agree to a ceasefire now." As the coalition prepares for further discussions, Starmer is expected to urge fellow leaders to make concrete commitments to support Ukraine's peace efforts and enhance economic pressure on Russia to facilitate negotiations. The virtual summit signifies a critical juncture in international efforts to address the ongoing conflict, with leaders united in their resolve to seek a lasting resolution for Ukraine's security and sovereignty. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.